Hey, good afternoon. Gary Shapiro, Southwest Financial Center in Bullhead City. Today's topic is 11 tips to protect yourself from identity theft and, of course, any related tax fraud that comes by way of that. So let's run down the list real quick and with a couple little points to emphasize. First item on the 11 tips. Be really, really careful about public Wi-Fi. So wherever you happen to be, whether restaurant, hotel, Starbucks, whatever, be very, very careful. If you do have a good cellular data plan, prefer to use that. If you know about VPNs, virtual private networks, download an app, even pay the $2.99 or $5.99 or whatever. Use that as a dodging point for somebody to find you and get inside your phone and get all kinds of information. Uh, Second, on the 11 tip scale, take care of any of your private paper documents that should, maintain its own level of protection and privacy, of course, and tuck it away, whether at home, business, or whatever. Anything with your financial information and numbers or whatever, you just keep it away from people's eyes, preferably in a locking cabinet of sorts. Number three, keep your mailing address current. Can't emphasize this enough. You get an awful lot of paper mail still. A lot of people do online banking and all the rest of it. Inevitably, some things will come by mail. Make sure your address is current because, of course, if it gets to an old address, the wrong people have your information. So, credit card statements and banking statements, whether online or get it once a month. If it's at all possible, every few days, once a week, whatever, make it a point. Saturday at 2, go online to your bank and see what type of stuff has gone through, either debit or your credit card statements. Make sure that those charges are valid. So going online to different places, different stores, signing up for things. Be very, very careful about, giving away more than just your email and first name. If they're asking for other information that possibly can be used in, the drop-down boxes where you have, validate your information, and it's got a question like, what was your favorite pet and what street did you grow up on and things like that. So be very, very careful about things like that. You may want to have a second persona online for such information that would be devoid of a reality for somebody to get into your financial accounts. Passwords, use smart passwords, change them every 3 to 6 months. Use a password generator so it'll come up with a randomized series of characters and things like that. So be really on the ball with passwords. If you do online gaming or look to these GIFs or memes or what have you, there's a degree of interactivity with these. So they'll ask for to document who you are. They'll ask you for mother's maiden name and things like that. So all that type of information is how they develop your personal profile, and those personal profiles on the dark web are available for sale. So the more you give, the more they get, and eventually there's going to be for them 50 points of light to identify this person, and if not one, then the other, and they'll eventually get to your information. In emails, they call them phishing, they call them spear phishing. There's an awful lot of fraudulent activity by way of throwing stuff at you and embedding hyperlinks and clickable points within your email. They even have to a point where anywhere in the email, if you click, that will send you to a lookalike website or embed in a little software coding, and it be able to start extracting information or even worse, lock up your computer. So be very careful about what you click within an email. That email has to be fully recognizable. An awful lot of emails look like the real email that's been sent. So I get phony emails from Amazon or IRS or whatever that they keep on trying. If it's someone new and it sounds like it might be something you'd be interested in, go outside of that email, open up a new tab, go online, go to its website, that company's website, or Google them and look for reviews or what have you. If the website somewhere is listed there with a phony email or whatever, you'll find out real quick. So go outside that email and look for it. That's to deal with scams. Now, I think one of the more important things and one of the lessons in the last few years that I've been implementing is don't necessarily throw around your social security number wherever you go, especially doctors' offices, medical facility, testing labs, etc., etc. When they give you a form, just fill in, like I have recently, XX and the last four of my social. Not needed necessarily. It's not a big mandate any longer for you to provide them their social security number. Your file is indexed nowadays, more often than not, by your date of birth. When you go to pick up prescriptions or you go to the doctor's office, one of the first things, okay, what is your date of birth and your name such and such. So it used to be a kind of a data point of collection. If they couldn't verify your medical insurance and things like that, they felt that they had a reporting arm where they can get to your credit agency report you by way of your social security number. So that not necessarily being the case any longer, don't throw around your social. Always a good idea, this is number 10, always a good idea to monitor your credit report. Annualcreditreport.com. Go to them, it's for free. Once a year you get it, I believe, maybe twice. But it's definitely well worth it to make sure that what is reported is in fact valid. So an awful lot extends from your credit report. So we also do insurance, an awful lot of insurance here, home, auto, etc. And those with really good credit scores, get the best rates. It may seem unfair, but those that have really poor credit or dings in their credit, especially recently, are going to see increases in their rates, whether upon renewal or looking to shop around or whatever. So it can be as much as 50% higher. Some insurance companies may not take you, period, if your reporting is that bad. So stay on top of your credit reporting. Last thing is to make sure that, if at all possible, you're on a fraud alert plan by way of your bank or credit card company. And if your particular bank or credit card company doesn't offer you email alerts or text alerts where there's possible fraud activity on your account, then look to get with one. Because for instance, Chase Bank has such a thing where you would get for instance a fraud alert when they see a $100 or $800 or whatever charge on your credit card by way of a company in Australia, when you're actually here and you haven't gone online and bought anything from Australia. So they do a very good job, and that's by way of statistical analysis and artificial intelligence and that type of thing. So and if you interact with them and let them know ahead of time, hey, I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to Hawaii, whatever, letting them know ahead of time, especially a regular full credit card company, I expect to make charges on my card. That definitely helps protect you. So 11 tips. Hopefully it's been helpful, and we'll see you again in a week.